Hey everyone, this is Coach Parker with CoachParker.org. Thanks for coming back today. We're going to talk about the 6-2 multi-8 youth football defense again, and specifically my 6-2 base formations that I run. And there's 5 of them. The 6-2 multi-8 has 8 different formations that we can move in and out of. But really, the whole concept of the 6-2 multi-8, thus the 6-2 and the multi-8, really came about from running 3 or 4 of these 5 quite a bit. And of course, we have the 6-2 wide tackle and the 6-2 tight, which is really where this whole defense kind of conceptualized. I'd been running those for a couple of years, and then really started integrating those together along with the gap 8. And then came upon the 6-2 double wide, and then also, just because a lot of folks are running this 44 stack or a split 44, kind of add the 62 Al Lucy in there. And these are the 5 defenses formations of the 62 multi-8. And these are kind of that 62 base formation. Now, definitely the base formation in the 62 is my 62 wide tackle. This is my overall base defense, where we always line up in this. If I forget to make a call or there's confusion, we go back to this base 6-2 wide tackle. The wide tackle is the base of all bases, if that makes sense. But we're always in a 62 wide tackle, and then we transition into the other defenses from there. I've got another video that goes quite heavily into the 6-2 wide tackle and all the responsibilities, or at least it's an introduction there, kind of the base responsibilities that everybody has in this particular defense. Wanted to get to the other defenses today and talk about those real quick. So you got the 62 wide tackle. And then you can see the transition there, how those guys just moved. There were 4 people that moved. I don't know if you saw it. Let me do it again. You're going to see both the D and the T tackles, the Dan and the Tank there over the tight ends, and the 2 inside linebackers, Rover and Mike there. You're going to see them move. And here they go again. Boom. So the 2 defensive tackles moved inside next to the nose guards, and the inside linebackers moved out. And that is the only difference. There's 4 players that move, and you can move into kind of a short yardage defense out of the 6-2 wide tackle and move into the 62 tight. You really get stronger A and B gaps for a short yardage dive play. I move in bigger players for this if we have time, or if I've got 2 small nose knob and a gunner, I call big guns, which basically moves my 2 big tackles into the A gaps. Your linebackers can kind of step up a little bit closer and play a little tighter, but really we're thinking it's an A and B run there, and this really works good for us. As you can see, the transition there again is, you can go back to the wide tackle, and then boom, you see the transition there. But I usually run this if I've smelled something out in a formation and know they're going to run a quick dive, or if it's a short yardage kind of thing, less than 3 or 4 yards, we'll go into this 6-2 tight. And then always we go back to our base 6-2 wide tackle. So we're in the 6-2 wide tackle here, and then we make another transition into the 6-2 double wide tackle. And basically what you can see is the guards, the knob and the gunner, basically move out to B gaps instead of being in A's, and the 2 linebackers, you can see it again, they move into the A gaps. This defense is really great for C, B type runs that attack there. Great defense for isolation leads in the 5 and the 6 holes. You are a little bit weaker in the middle if you got a team that likes to wedge. This is a little iffy if you want to run that. But based on your scouting report, you can probably see some tendencies here and where this would be really worked out good. Great blitz from here is an Apache linebacker blitz through the A gaps, where those guys, the two inside linebackers, can cross, or they can just shoot up, or you can shoot both or shoot one. But that really works out good, especially if they've got a weak and worryful center. So we're in the 6-2 double wide tackle here, and then we always transition back into the 6-2 wide tackle, and you can see again how you just move in and out of that particular defense. You see that? That's really nice there. And then we're going to move into another defense, which is the 6-2 Ocho, which is our gap 8 defense. You see how quickly that happened? So we're in the 6-2 wide tackle, and a little bit more people move around on this. We really get like a double tight kind of thing going on here. You basically move into a tight defense, and then the linebackers step up into the C gaps, and the D ends kind of collapse a little bit, and then your corners are playing outside contain run, and Fred moves up into kind of a middle linebacker there. But you can see that transition. And if you wanted to make it simpler, I guess you could have the Mike and Rover just move right up into B gaps if you wanted. But I like getting the big beef to kind of move in and then put my linebackers in the C gaps there. And then we always, like I said, we go back to our wide tackle here, which is our base. And this is really how we're transitioning these defenses here, is what I do in practice. We go through basically just formation shifts for about 15 minutes where I just call my hand signals or I say it out loud. And we have, the subs stand behind the starters. And we just walk to these gaps based on, we've got some rings set down for linemen, and they walk basically to their areas, and we make sure everybody's making that movement. So we're in the 6-2 wide tackle here, and I think we're going to go into the 62 owl Lucy. And basically you can do this owl call, which is basically moving the Will and the Sam back into a reading position pretty much in any of the defense. But if you're in a 6-2 wide tackle and you pull off this owl Lucy call, they just move back. The linebackers kind of scoot back a little bit, and you're basically more into a reading defense. I set this up mainly as a short yardage pass defense out of the 6-2 wide tackle, so we can kind of read the tight ends and any flat plays, pass plays that they're going to throw there. And this has worked out really good for us for that, especially if they're running tight end pop passes and you've smelled that out. And you can see once again how the wide tackle goes into split 44, and basically they just move back. You see how that works there. So let's go back to the beginning here, and you can see how we move in and out of all of these. You can see how it's just working here. So we're in the tight tackle here. Getting the tight. Go back to wide tackle. Go to double wide. Back to wide tackle. Gap 8 kind of skipped there. So you got the gap 8 transition. Back to wide tackle. Back to a gap 8. And then basically to this 44 here. You see how that worked out. This is also good if you think they're going to run the C gap or kind of a stretch sweep. You've got basically a little triangle set up there for that C gap. And then always we go back to our 6-2 wide tackle there as our base. And that's it. That's really the intro there into the 6-2 base formations out of the 62 multi-8. If you haven't guessed why it's called the 6-2 multi-8, is because we're in 6-2. That's our kind of base series formations. And we multi-8 different people are always kind of maybe moving around or doing something. And so that's the 6-2 multi-8. Plus we're running gap 8 there. But it's really because we're doing a multitude of with 8 people moving those around with the 62 as our base formation. But I hope you're enjoying this series in the 6-2 multi-8 youth football defense. Like I said, I've developed this over the last 10 years or so. This season had a great group of 11-year-old junior football players here at KYA Football. and we had 8 straight shutouts, almost 9. In the Super Bowl, we got scored on, and unfortunately, we did lose the Super Bowl in an overtime game. But it was a great game. Had a lot of fun. The defense really performed well. My best defensive series group of guys that I've had in 20 years of playing. They really took the defense to a whole new level. And I think it's because I finally learned the install procedure, and I'll share that with you here soon in the video series. But once again, thanks for joining me. This is Coach Parker with CoachParker.org. Thanks for letting me tell you a little bit more about the 62 multi-8 defense. If you've got any questions or comments, please leave those below in the comments section. Please like the video. Give us a thumbs up if you like it. If you don't, let us know why, and you can give us a thumbs down, but hopefully you don't. But you can also subscribe to the channel, which really helps keep me putting more videos out, and really appreciate you guys watching the video. Once again, this is Coach Parker with CoachParker.org signing off. Remember to play for fun, and winning is funner. Thanks a lot.